Well, here we are, everyone. Welcome back to part 8 of this Guts and Glory save. Still at our starting club, Welling United, and in our first season, I'm pleased to say, kind of corrected the wobble we had earlier in the season. We're now into February, and well, we're starting to look like a football team. As you can see, we're 12th in the league, and our form recently has been an awful lot better. Last time you were here for the Dartford double header, we lost the home and away legs of that 2-1, despite being the better team in both. And I was really starting to worry because we'd dropped down to 16th in the league. We were looking like our job was very much at risk. However, despite another loss at Averley just the following Saturday, we actually won some football matches with Farnborough away, who were, I think, 5th in the league at the time that we played them, and Truro City, who were kind of around us. Nearly performed a miraculous comeback against Chelmsford, and then saw off Hemel Hempstead with a very professional and solid 1-0 win. We've actually had 2 clean sheets in the last 3 games. Before that, you're going back to September for our last clean sheet. So we seem to have fixed something. We have had to change the formation again. We got the dreaded inbox message saying that I'm refusing to experiment. So we've changed from our 4-2-3. I'm going to say we got that message despite that being our 3rd tactic of the season. We started with the 5-3-2. We moved on to a 4-4-2 diamond. We went to a 4-2-3-1, and we are currently sitting with a 4-3-3, which has been working despite injuries to Lacan Torres, who doesn't. Where is Lacan Torres? Why can't I see Torres in my team anymore? Where's he gone? In Lacan Torres. Oh, he's been bought by Cartagena, so I guess they cancelled his loan contract. That's not great. That leaves us a couple of strikers short, given that we lost a few on expiry of loans. We had, what was his name? The awful one. He disappeared in January, and unfortunately, because we've already used 6 loans, we can't bring anyone else in on loan. So we are kind of down to the bare bones a little bit when it comes to the strike force. I mean, in reality, we've only got Abrahams as our striker. Tristan Abrahams is the only sort of recognised out-and-out striker. We've got David Nyarko, who can play in that role, but that's about it. And I'm thinking, actually, Nyarko might be one of those that we signed since the last video. Yes, indeed. So, since the humiliation at Dartford, we've brought in another 5 players. Ryan Sanford is a new goalkeeper who's come in to replace that awful man who was just atrocious. He's had a fairly solid start to life at Welling. David Nyarko, another one we brought in to try and give ourselves some wing options as we've moved to the 4-2-3-1. He's not been brilliant in his start with us so far, but there is still time. Jamie Qureshi, probably a bit of a panic buy, can play both wings and also through the middle. He's probably not quite good enough for the first team yet, but might be at some point. He's currently in the under-21s. Ellis Brown, another youngster, 21 years old, 2.5 stars potential, 4 stars of potential ability, and he has managed to get into a couple of games and has grabbed himself an assist so far. And then Dejane Campbell, who is very much one for the future, but is kind of, at the moment, our second striker. So we're going to move him on to the senior squad, actually, behind Tristan Abrahams. So we're short of attack options, given that we started with a two striker formation simply because that's all we had available to us and they were our best players. It's all changed. The loans have disappeared. We can't bring in any more loans, so we are relying on still trying to find some freebies. And unfortunately, we've kind of lost sight of the fact that all of the strikers were disappearing, and we're now just down to Abrahams and the youngster Campbell. So for this match, we are going with who are we going with? Here we go. So we're going with Sanford in goal. Green, Dickinson, Brian Waugh, and Otse Taiwo along the back line. Now, Dickinson and Brian Waugh don't seem to like playing together, so we'll see how they get on in this one. Holding has started most of the recent games, but we have got a Tuesday night game coming up, so we absolutely need to start rotating a few players. We've got Obiero at the base of midfield, Bramble and Andrews in the centre. On the wings, we have Nyarko and White, and then Abrahams playing as the pressing forward up front for this match against Taunton Town. So let's hope we can continue the form that's seen us go from 16th back up to 12th. I mean, playoffs they're a distant memory, but thankfully, so is promotion. Relegation, the other one, the bad one, is also probably a distant memory. I think we're good 12 points or so off of both playoffs and relegation. So we are pretty much playing out this season to get to the summer and rebuild this team. But we do need to make sure we keep the form going so that we stay at least in this kind of mid-table position so that the board doesn't sack us and the supporters don't get on our backs. And Nyarko has his first goal of the season for Welling United. Just as I'm saying, we desperately need to keep our good form going. There's the man who's making it happen. He's only been with us a couple of weeks and he's already got himself into the score books. Score books, is that a thing? But he's in the books with a goal and we're 1-0 up in the first 4 minutes here. And that does absolutely nothing for our league position. We stay in 12th, but we are keeping ourselves in touch with the teams above who are, there are a few points ahead of us there. So it's going to be hard for us to move much further up than 12th. I think we've got a penalty. Well, we'll take that. We don't seem to have got many decisions go our way this season. In fact, a lot hasn't gone our way. And Tristan Abraham steps up and pops it in nice and easily. And that's his 17th goal of the season. We are going to miss Torres, who I think had 16 before he was sold to Cartagena. But Abrahams is now the man who's going to play through the middle. We did have him playing on the right wing as an inside forward for some period of time. But unfortunately, we don't have much option. I mean, you want us to leave players back? No, we won't do that. We'll keep attacking on our corners. Thank you very much. So we are 2-0 up, and this is a nice confidence booster. If we can keep this going, then I don't entertain any chance of us getting near the playoffs, but we can at least make our league position look a little bit more respectable. In a top 10 finish, I don't think is necessarily out of the question if we can keep this run going the way we have so far. This will be 4 out of 5 matches, and the only loss in there was against Chelmsford, who were pushing for the playoff places. It was away from home and only beat us by 1 goal. We scored a couple against them. Kind of hoping we can keep being that team. We've dominated every game, even the Chelmsford game. We did dominate. We had more shots, higher XG, just not putting them away. And we just conceded 3 stupid goals. Big deflections in most of them. I think we've got another penalty. I don't know who I've signed, who apparently the referees like, but we've got a second penalty in this match, which is probably only about a third or fourth all season. And this time White is stepping up. Why have we got a different penalty taker for this one? Abrahams took the last one and Lewis White takes this one. Strange. Was White off the pitch for the last one or something? I don't know, but well, there we go. We're rotating the penalties as well. But that's put us 3-1 up. We haven't looked particularly dominant, given we've got 2 penalties. Our XG is only 1.75, and I think penalties are like 0.8 XG or something like that. So, well, this is what could be one of those blessed games where we just score. I mean, it basically is what's done to us, where we just score despite only having few chances. And yeah, now we're 4-1 up. We're just scoring everything that we kick at the goal. Their goalkeeper must be having a torrid time. 6.4. I mean, it's not that bad considering you've conceded 4 goals, but we are 4-1 up and we just need to keep this going. We've seen many, many, many games where we've been the better team. We've had more shots and yet concede all of the goals to sort of 2 or 3 shots on target. It's kind of working in reverse now, so we'll take it when it's given, as it often acts against us. Ball comes out for White in the middle of the box, and I think that's a save, or is it a block? It's gone out. It's another corner, and we are putting the pressure on Taunton here. Green whips in the corner, but it's straight to the goalkeeper. Nothing comes from it. So 4-1 is, I mean, it's great. We are still 12th here. We are 3 points behind Western-super-Mare and then 9 points away from 10th place Chippenham. So maybe top 10 is kind of already out of the question. I know we've got 14 games, but 9 points is it's a big hurdle to overcome for a team of our inconsistent form. And at this late stage of the season, you can't really expect us to be able to haul that down. But we'll give it a good old go. We'll give it our best as we get another corner here. And yet another corner. We don't score quite as many corners as I'd like. And I do think I'm missing, sort of big 6'5" centre-back who can just dominate in the air. And that'll be one of the priorities I think we'll go for this summer. Although we do have a fair number of players all over the pitch who are taller than 6 foot, so we can compete in the air pretty much all over the pitch. Andrew's there looking quite small in comparison to whoever was coming in behind him, and it's one of the rarities that we have in this Welling United side. But as I say, I am very much rebuilding this summer. This team isn't good enough for what we want to achieve at this level. We kind of want to get a promotion so that the bigger clubs will start to take a look at us. 70 minutes gone, so we are going to make a few changes, and I think it's going to be a case of resting players for the next match. So we're going to bring off Abrahams, and we're going to put Nyarko up front. Amrit Bansal McNulty on his return from injury. Are you a left footer or are you a right footer? You're a right footer. So we've got you cutting inside. He is, yeah. He's returning from injury, so we'll give him a bit of game time. And I think Obiero is another one that we want to kind of protect. So we'll put Bramble in the ball-winning midfielder position, and Kian Flanagan go in there, and I think we'll do that. Flanagan's quite good when he's acting as the Mazzala. He wasn't great in attacking midfield, but certainly as a Mazzala, he seems to thrive. So 4-1, and Taunton, I mean, they look quite slow going forward, don't they? There's not a lot of urgency from them. Although I feel like I've probably just jinxed it, as their right back just charges all the way down the wing, puts it across, but the touch back to the goalkeeper, quite easy for him to deal with there. They have had more shots, but obviously haven't been particularly high quality because we've overtaken them in XG, and they haven't really changed their XG since the first half. And Green's done it again. That's the second time he's been able to have a bit of space over. We did all see that, didn't we? We did all see that. Did I accidentally click on a highlight? Ball went out. Throw in. Oh, someone's going to have to explain to me what happened there, because we just saw Green's goal again. I was about to comment that it was exactly the same thing. He was given space on this right-hand side, cuts in and scores with his left foot. But it should have been a clue that he was shooting at that goal, which is the goal we're defending in this second half. But why did that play? What did I do? Did I click on it? I'm going to have to watch back the video myself to see. But not to worry, we have managed to win this one 4-1. I mean, the XG is pretty much a reverse of what we've seen in every game, as is the scoreline. So we'll take that quite happily. So I think next up we have, who do we have next? I think we are against Tonbridge Angels. So a Kent derby-ish. I mean, technically Welling is in London. But I think they still have a Kent postal address. So Kent, London, it's all much of a muchness around here. But we are going to go and jump ahead to Tonbridge Angels. So we'll see you then. And welcome back. So we seem to have something of an explanation of why Abrahams took the first penalty and Lewis White took the second one in the last match. I got a news item afterwards saying Abrahams had broken his goal drought, so I'm wondering whether he was given the penalty as a chance to try and break his duck and actually score a goal. So I think that's probably why Abrahams took the penalty. If so, I mean, that's quite an interesting thing to put in the game. Not necessarily sure I'd like to do that every time, but it seemed to have worked this time, so we'll take it. So here is the team putting forward for the Tonbridge Angels match. We've got Sanford in goal. Wood is coming at left back to Rest Green, who's just a little bit tired, but will probably come on at some point from the bench. Dickinson and Brian Ward were continuing with after the last match, and they did fairly well. Otse Taiwo at right back. Obiero again at the base of midfield. Bramble and Flanagan this time, who comes in for Andrews White. Ellis Brown comes in on a left wing, and Abrahams is up front as pretty much the only senior striker we have at the club. So let's see if we can go and beat a team that's in fourth place, and I think they're at one point top of the league, so they're going to be quite a tough proposition. But we are in good form. We've won 4 of our last 5 matches after going, I think it was 6 without a win. So we are, I mean, when we're consistent, we are consistent, but we're inconsistently consistent, if that makes any sense. So, yeah, let's see. I mean, who knows what team's going to turn up here? Well, I can't help but feel every time we lose that we're suddenly going to go on another run of 6 games without a win. But when we do win, it feels like it's never going to end. And Brian Moore has scored a header. He did look a mile offside there, though, didn't he? Yep. And, well, let's hope that that's just a warning shot fired across Tonbridge's bows, and this is actually going to be followed up with by many, many goals. And Ellis Brown, who has I think this is only his second start. He's got a bruised knee. How does that stop you from playing? Well, that's nonsense. But we're going to bring on Bansal McNaughty, who really is only fit for 45 minutes, but he's going to have to do a bit more today on his return from injury. Let's see how he gets through. So, not a grand start. We've not really created a lot so far, but neither have Tonbridge. Would now, I mean, it's a speculative effort. We saw his, we saw Green do that in the first match, didn't we? Scoring from a very similar position. Wood hasn't quite got the technique to wrap his foot around it and curl it into the far corner. But it was, well, he definitely worried the goalkeeper for a moment there. And we're not seeing a huge amount else happen in this match. It looks like Tonbridge are having all the shots based on those stats, but none of them worthy of a highlight so far. So let's hope it's all long-range rubbish that our defence is dealing with quite comfortably, as we kind of we're going for a bit of a slow build-up here, which is it's not entirely intentional. I think I've got a slightly more direct passing, yeah. So that's not completely what I'm expecting to see, but it's a good cross in there from Otse Taiwo. And TJ Bramble, who at the start of the season was our right wing back, is the one on the end of the cross this time rather than the one providing it. And that's a lovely cross. We do suddenly start going direct. White puts it through. Flanagan, I mean, lovely one-touch passing there. And then Bramble gets himself up and heads in to the top corner. And we are 1-0 up at home to Tonbridge Angels, which, I mean, this isn't a game we're necessarily expecting to win at all. This is one where, I'm not going to call it a free hit. I think a draw is something we should be able to achieve. But going ahead is a very, very good sign for us indeed. And the league table has us currently in 11th, although Weston-super-Mare do have a game in hand. So let's not get too excited about that jump up the table. It's not really a jump, it's a little step. And another reason not to get excited because Tonbridge have come in with an immediate reply after half time, and it's offside. Oh, well, I mean, that one should hopefully wake up our defence to stop those crosses from coming in. That was far, far too easy, and we've got another knock. Lewis White is hurt now. It's a good job we did spend a bit of time trying to bring in some wingers as part of this formation change. Otherwise, well, we'd have to be going back to probably a diamond of some kind at this point. But Nyarko can come on for White, and we're left with just one change that we can possibly make. And not say Taiwo is looking tired. Oh my goodness, we're playing with fire here. That was very, very close to a Tonbridge equaliser. 15 minutes or 18 minutes left to go, and it's Tonbridge again. They are all over us. And Sanford makes a good save. Okay, we're going to do something that I don't like doing. We're going to go cautious. We're going to waste time. We're going to slow down play from the goalkeeper. And it's kind of all backs against the walls here, lads, because Tonbridge, I think, are just going to start to pound the ball into our box, and we're going to have to defend it. I don't like playing this way. I very rarely play this way, and I'm pretty sure FM22 and FM23 kind of punished you for playing defensively. I mean, let's see if that's true now. I'll say Taiwo, our right back, he's the furthest man forward. And one of the good things I do like about FM24 is these set pieces. Rather than having to put positions in certain players, you know, you pick a centre back to be the man that you aimed your cross to, and your striker would be the one who stayed forward. Your assistant manager or your set piece coach will now pick the most suitable player for that, unless you want to do it yourselves. But you create lists, if you do it yourself, of players who will either be going forward or be the man to attack. And depending on who's actually in your starting 11, they adjust accordingly, rather than having to say, okay, my left-sided centre-back has to be my best header because that's the one I'm aiming for at set pieces, etc. And Football Manager, what have you done to me here? We've conceded, and it's a first ever goal. It's always a first ever goal, no matter who you play. They tend to score, and it will be a player's first ever goal for the club. Right. Now, this is a difficult situation. Do we stick or twist? I think we are going to... Let's freshen up the wing-back position. Let's freshen that up. Let's get Andrews on. Bramble can go out to right wing-back, although he's almost as tired. And we'll see if we can... I mean, what we've done there, we've freshened up potential midfield, which I guess is fine. But yeah, the question is, do we stay cautious, or do we go back to positive and see if we can go and get a goal? I wonder whether Tonbridge will come pushing for a winner, and that might be a chance for us to take advantage. So we're going to stay as we are for now and see. Abrahams with a great run into the box, and what a finish! I'm never questioning giving a man who's down on his luck a penalty again, because that has almost certainly given him the confidence to go and apply a finish just like that. He's picked up the ball halfway into the Tonbridge half, and he's just run past the defence and slotted it into the top corner as calm as you like. We are on course for a huge win, and this would be a very big win for us, and another match where we've not dominated, but we've still got ourselves ahead. And of course, I am a tactical genius for leaving it exactly as it was. I knew that Tonbridge would leave us space, and that's exactly what happened. Well done to me. I'm probably not a tactical genius, but that's two very good matches for us on this video tonight. And that has bumped us up into 11th place. I mean, that's fantastic. That is... when we were languishing down here, we were starting to look downwards at whether relegation was a real possibility. But by the end of this, we've now put ourselves 17 points clear of Hemel Hempstead in 21st. And we're now 11 points away from the playoffs. So we're closer to the playoffs than we were to relegation, which is fantastic. Can we hit the playoffs? Perhaps you'll have to find out next time. So I hope you've enjoyed that. If you have, please do leave a like and click on the subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care.